Curiosity is the most powerful thing you own. I'm going to share a story with you about curiosity. A curiosity about red nail polish. A curiosity that led to the transformation of an entire industry and changed the lives of thousands of people. Hi, my name is Lai-DuMone. I'm the founder and CEO of Worksmart Advantage, where I deliver team and leadership development programs all through the lens of creative integration, which means all my work is done through creativity, play, and sharing experiences. I'm also author of the book, What If Pigs Can Fly? A practical guide to follow your curiosities to achieve impractical possibilities. And in that book, I share the following framework to turn your curiosities into reality. First, pause and pay attention to those curiosities that tap you on the shoulder. We're all innately curious, and it's our curiosity that drives us to innovate and find new possibilities. Yet oftentimes, we're too busy to pay attention to those curiosities that come to us, and we miss out. There's power in pausing long enough for your curiosities to become viable ideas. The second part of the framework is to ask powerful questions like, what if, and how might I? Your brain is a search engine. Ask it the right questions, and it will find the answers. And by asking open-ended questions that expand your imagination, you give your brain and yourself permission to think in limitless possibilities. And the third step is to have the courage to take one small step forward. Curiosity is a noun. To turn your curiosities into reality, you have to take action. And that action can be just one small step, allowing what's next to show up. There's a famous quote by Walt Disney. He said, "Ideas come from curiosity." And for me, this quote encapsulates the story I want to share with you. It's a personal story about curiosity that started in 1975 at a refugee integration center in Northern California. This curiosity was one that sparked a very impractical idea. On April 29, 1975, my family and I fled Vietnam at the end of the war and the fall of Saigon. I was just 2 years old. We were aided out of the country by the US military, becoming part of the first wave of Vietnamese refugees in the United States. Our first home here was at Camp Pendleton Marine Base in San Diego, and we lived safely on that base for several months. And then, my family and other families were transferred to a refugee integration center up in Northern California called Hope Village. And it's here that hundreds of civilians came and volunteered and helped us in our transition. And one of those volunteers happened to be Hollywood movie star Tippi Hedren, most famously known for her starring role in Alfred Hitchcock's movie, The Birds. Tippi's role at Hope Village was to assist these women to find a career in their new country. So Tippi decided to start a typing and sewing class because those were careers that were easy to learn and easy to get into at the time. So 20 women signed up, including my mom. So as these women were typing and sewing, Tippi would walk around the room encouraging them. And as she did so, they were curious about something completely different than typing and sewing. They were curious about Tippi's long, red, manicured nails. Now imagine being Tippi Hedren, this Hollywood movie star, very busy. She's already started this amazing program for them. She easily could have ignored that curiosity, but she didn't. Instead, she paused and she paid attention. And in that pause, they were able to ask these questions like, what if, and how might we? What if we learned how to do manicures? How might we become manicurists? Now, those questions came with some challenges. For example, most of these women didn't speak English, and they definitely didn't have the money to pay tuition and go to beauty school. But they didn't focus on those challenges. They focused on the possibilities that lived in those curiosities, which led Tippi to take the first small step. She went back down to Los Angeles and asked her personal manicurist, Dusty Cusputera, if she would come up to Hope Village and teach these women how to do a basic manicure. Dusty said yes, so week after week, Dusty came up and showed these women how to do a basic manicure. And they were good at it and they loved it, but it didn't make them licensed manicurists. So the next small step that Tippy took was to walk these women down to the local beauty college, Citrus Heights Beauty College. And she asked them, I have these 20 women. They don't have money to pay tuition, and most of them don't speak English. But is there any way they can be enrolled in your school to become manicurists? The owners of Citrus Heights Beauty College said yes. So after 10 weeks of schooling and 400 hours of learning how to do a manicure, my mom and her friends all passed their manicure practicum and written tests in English, making them the first 20 licensed Vietnamese manicurists in the United States. These women had lost everything, including their homeland, but they still had their curiosity. That curiosity truly became the most powerful thing they owned. And in telling their story, I uncovered the Follow Your Curiosity framework I share in my book. First, Tippy paused to pay attention. Secondly, despite challenges, they asked powerful questions that led to possibility. And then they had the courage to take one small step forward. And the story doesn't end with these 20 women. The Vietnamese refugees and immigrants after us followed their own curiosities, and they asked questions like, what if we opened our own beauty salons? What if we started our own beauty schools? How might we manufacture the products we need? The Vietnamese manicure industry is currently an $8.3 billion industry, dominated by Vietnamese Americans across the country, all stemming from a curiosity about red nail polish. Their story of following curiosity leads me to wonder, what curiosities are currently tapping you on the shoulder that you might not be paying attention to? In her book, Big Magic, Elizabeth Gilbert refers to ideas as having consciousness and will. These willful ideas fly around seeking human partners to bring them to life. And I propose that these ideas often come to us in the form of curiosities. So I invite you to start paying attention to your curiosities. What are the ideas that keep tapping you on the shoulder? And what impractical possibilities could they unlock for you? And then ask expansive questions like, what if and how might I? As you do so, use this process of divergent thinking to come up with as many ways as you can imagine to bring that curiosity to life. Divergent thinking is a brainstorming tool that encourages you to come up with as many ideas as you can. Some of the rules of divergent thinking include all ideas make it to the table. There is no criteria or judgment of ideas, and wild and crazy ideas are welcome. Basically, allow yourself to dream big without judgment. Then look at all your ideas and select one to move forward with. And I always suggest picking the idea that you're most enthusiastic about. Because the more enthusiastic you are, the more likely you will follow up with action. Once you've decided on the idea you want to move forward with, it's time to take action with one small step. Psychologist Dr. Robert Maurer writes about the power of small steps in his book, One Small Step Can Change Your Life, the Kaizen Way. He suggests that by taking small steps, we can reach our goals faster than trying to take these giant leaps. And there's science behind this assertion. When we contemplate making significant moves, a part of our brain called the amygdala is triggered to protect us. I like to refer to the amygdala as our bodyguard. When we try activities outside our comfort zone, we awaken our bodyguard, who then sends signals that we're in danger through increased heart rate, breath rate, and those feelings of overwhelm and anxiousness. By taking this small step approach towards our big goals, we tiptoe around the amygdala, allowing ourselves to progress faster towards our goals than when we attempt giant leaps. And remember, there's no such thing as a step that is too small. As you start your curiosity journey, remember this quote by Martin Luther King. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Remember, curiosity is a noun. Bringing your curiosity to life takes action. So in your life, remember to pay attention to the curiosities that tap you on the shoulder. Ask powerful and expansive questions despite challenges. And take one small step with a little courage. Curiosity is the most powerful thing you own. And I look forward to seeing you creating new and amazing possibilities with yours.